Thank you for coming. This interview for the position of the student associate, we will start off by asking a few questions. What are your career goals?
So right now I am planning on majoring in Spanish, a double major in Spanish and American ethnic studies. So I want to, with Spanish, I'm debating whether I want to go into teaching it maybe, and with American ethnic studies, or I want to work with undocumented immigrants who are coming here. But like as of now, that is still kind of, I'm still very undecided of what I want to do. But I do know I do want to major in those two.
Where would you like to be, or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years from now, I would like to be working for, how do I say it? We're helping undocumented immigrants become legal citizens, and in the process, like if they needed like lawyers, like I can help them in the process of trying to find people to help them.
Why do you want this position?
I think I'd be a good fit for the position because I like meeting new people. I can keep the conversation going. If anyone needs help, can show them where because I'm a very fast learner. I tend to move really quickly, so if I know I have a list of things I have to do, I'll get through it fast. But I'll also do it with enough time so I have time left over to do other things or to make sure I did everything right.
Have you ever been on a team where someone was not pulling their own weight? How did you deal with this?
In my most recent job, with my coworker, we would work the same shift, and we were supposed to be doing everything equal, but there was times where she would just go in the back, and she would just be on her phone for most of the time, so she wouldn't do anything, and she would go on her breaks, and she would take we were supposed to take 30-minute lunches, and she would take an hour, so she would just go out while I was left with all the work, and she would leave at exactly the time we were supposed to leave, and I would have to stay an extra hour or two to fix everything she couldn't do. And at first, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to be mean about it, but probably like a week and a half into the job, I got tired of it. I wasn't even scheduled to stay 2 hours after the time I was supposed to stay in, and I was getting in trouble for staying in late to finish something she couldn't do. So I had to talk to my manager and tell her, well, the only reason I'm staying in late is because she goes in the back and she's on her phone. And like I've told her, I'm like, oh, like can you come help me with this? I would try to have her help me bake cookies because I worked in the bakery, and she would be like, oh, like you're new, I'm sure you can handle it, like you have to figure out how to do it eventually. And there was just certain things that she would do that she would expect me to do or expect me to already know how to do it, and I didn't know. So I just talked about it with my manager, and we came to the conclusion that we're in the part of the store I was working in that it would have to be like a strict like no phone policy, and like the manager for the first week she would come around and check every like 30 minutes just to make sure we were actually working.
What has been your experience with the front desk, and how would you improve it?
A while ago I worked like in the front desk at a bakery, so it was kind of like I was also a cashier. So I think I can handle money, and I think it's not a lot of experience, but it is some working the front desk, like trying to help people find what they're looking for, and how would I improve it? I think just trying to talk to the customer more and asking them like what they need, and just having them like not get angry or frustrated so easily.
This job requires collaboration with other student leaders, staff, and other university administrators. What have you learned in your past experiences about collaborating with students and adults?
Some of the things I learned is you have to be able to communicate right and be able to talk about the problems you guys are having. Because if you guys don't, there is no communication there, you guys are not talking about it, then it could lead to both of you not liking one another and just making the work environment, like you can feel like there's tension there. So just talking to that person if you have a problem or confronting them about it would be the best option. And also trying to be nice to everyone, trying to get along with everyone. If you see anything bad happen, like if it is genuinely something bad report it, and if it's nothing, just like go talk to the worker to see if they need help in anything.
Why should we hire you?
I think you guys should hire me because I love talking to people. I'm the oldest of my family, so like being a mentor, it's not the same thing, but like my siblings look up to me, so like I would always help them around anything. So like if they needed help with homework, I would be there. And in the mentor program, it's like the same thing. You're being like an older sibling to a person and guiding them in whatever they need.
What motivates you to put forth your greatest effort?
My family, both my parents immigrated here from Mexico, and they didn't have the opportunity to continue on their education. And my mom lives here, and she lives in Yakima. She works in the warehouse, so she motivates me. And then my dad lives back in Mexico, so also that just like knowing that I'm doing this for them, and that sooner or later, this is gonna pay off.
Describe your most rewarding college experience.
Probably meeting new people and also having a mentor myself for the program camp, and it's also giving me like an insight of like what you do with a mentor, like trying to have like good communication skills with your mentee.
And do you have any questions for us?
Are there any additional like expectations for the jobs aside from what you have listed in your job description?
I guess just one exceptional kind of factor that we take into consideration is someone who is very charismatic, magnetic, and can communicate with different types of people. And I think you'd be perfect for the job.
And I also have, what is the environment like of the work? Does everyone get along, or like do you guys talk outside of work?
It's a very collaborative environment, and it's not only within the office but without. So all the relationships that you make are valuable and transcend not just in the office, but it transcends out of the office.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking your time to meeting up with me.
Thank you.